This looks like a pretty normal Araxor kill. Here's P1, fast forward a bit, here's P3 when it phases, and then a bit more, here's P4. And it just dies. Here's a different kill. Everything seems fairly standard, dies to his as fix, and then P4, nothing. Every few months someone will post in a Discord a comment or a clip saying that P4 Rax just insta-killed. This has happened a few times, but is insanely rare. Years ago, a 1 billion gold bounty was placed on this skip to anyone who could figure out why it occurred or how it was done, with the aim to come up with a repeatable method. But this bounty was never claimed, because after countless hours of research and testing by the community, no one found anything. Until now. Over the past couple of days, Finah and I have been researching, testing, and successfully getting the P4 skip. But let's go back to the beginning. This is one of the earliest P4 insta-kill clips to exist, and in this kill, Rax ends up dying due to the hits from killing the mirrorback. So I went and tested that. I killed Rax phase 3 by killing the mirrorback, with no luck. Taking a closer look, you can see a hit during the phase animation, which, when rewatching it, is a corruption shot bleed hit. So I went again, did my corruption shot, killed the mirrorback, and still no skip. So I looked at another clip. This is a normal range kill with Eldritch Crossbow active. Rax goes from 685 HP to 0 HP. It's pretty common to see 0 HP when using ECB. And the next tick, it phases. Similar to the previous kill, this also has an extra hit during the phase animation. So I tried a few hours of ranging with an ECB, trying to replicate this kill, but it never happened. It would go to 0 HP, but no hit splats occurred during the phase animation, and no P4s were skipped. Finah and I were pretty confused. There has been a recorded skip with every single style, so it couldn't be because of Eldritch Crossbow, or Invoke Death, or the Mirrorback Spider. Few of the skips seem to be on the same 10-tick cycle after rejoining the instance, but as soon as we found one that wasn't, that theory was gone. Finally, I looked at this clip, and that's when we realized what was going on. To get the skip, Rax needs to die to something that has a delayed death. The target dies to an Eldritch Crossbow hit, the target will be at 0 HP for a tick. This is the same with Sunshine Bleed, and the same with Invoke Death. This is the first of 3 requirements. Secondly, Rax also needs to take damage on the next tick after his death. Every P4 skip has a hit during the phase animation, and this hit is actually what kills Raxi, causing it to instantly die in phase 4. This hit needs to be a normal type of hit, such as a standard ability, but things such as Eldritch Crossbow won't work. So you'd imagine you just time an ability to hit on that tick, but no one knew why sometimes this hit would happen, and sometimes it wouldn't. And that's where the third requirement comes in. Araxor needs to heal on the same tick as his delayed death. When you are soul splitting, Araxor will also soul split, and will heal a very small amount when damaging you with autos. This is why almost every attempt up till now has been unsuccessful, because Rax needs to die on the same tick that he heals. This also requires the auto that he fires to actually hit you. It can't splash. So I've been using Berserker auras and switching to armor with significantly less defense to ensure Rax doesn't splash. Everything was starting to make sense. If Araxor dies here to a delayed damage source such as an ECB or a Sunshine Bleed, he'll be 0 HP and therefore dead, but also technically still alive. If he also heals on this exact tick, it means that on the next tick you are able to deal damage to him. If he does not heal, then that's not possible. And that's what happens here. Araxor takes a 270 hit from the Sunshine Bleed, but that doesn't kill him despite having 270 HP, as on the same tick he heals to 77 HP, as the player is soul splitting, and takes damage from Araxor. Because the Sunshine Bleed is a delayed damage source, Araxor is still alive, allowing the player to deal the 77 HP with an Asphyx hit. All of this means that when entering phase 4, Araxor just dies. So we fully understand the skip, how it works, why it works, but how repeatable is it? Well, surprisingly very. Let me first show you an example of a skip, and then go into a significantly faster and more consistent method. So here is my plan. I'm going to lower Araxor to around 24k health. I'm going to use Chaos Roar and then store my Overpower. Chaos Roar just guarantees my Overpower will hit 10k next hit. When I release my Overpower, I'm going to use an Eldritch Crossbow spec. And then next ability, I'm going to use any slow hitting ranged ability, such as Type Bindings. Here's what will happen. Overpower will lower Araxor to around 4k health. The next tick, Araxor will die to the Eldritch Crossbow damage. but due to the delayed nature of ECB, it'll remain at 0 HP. And on this tick it'll also heal. Its HP bar won't necessarily visibly go up, but it has healed. And then next, when it phases, my type bindings will deal the damage that Araxor healed. It's important to do this on a specific tick in relation to his auto attacks. Araxor will heal from an auto fired at you 1 tick before the auto hits you, meaning he'll need to drop to 0 HP a tick after his auto animation. So here's the skip. Overpower hits here, the same tick as his auto animation. The next tick, Rex drops to 0 HP from the Eldritch Crossbow hits, but also because I'm soul splitting, he will heal on this tick. And lastly, my type bindings will deal the small amount of damage needed to kill it, all resulting in a nice and easy P4. Now this seems like a lot of effort. It can be hard to time and ensure Rex dies on the correct tick to the ECB damage. So let's look at a much better way. For this, we'll be using the only combat style, Necromancy, and it's because of Invoke Death. Invoke Death has no special properties for this skip, despite you maybe thinking it does. It doesn't proc twice or do any weird insta-kill. The benefit is that it's a delayed death and can proc anywhere under 20k health. This effectively makes it a 20k ECB hit that'll proc whenever you want with no timing issues. We can also ensure we're on the correct tick in relation to his autos every single time. Whenever you move into range of Araxor, he'll attack with an auto 1 tick later. This means you can run up to Rex spamming your ability, or bladed dive the tick before your ability, and your ability cast will always be on the correct tick. All of my testing has been with range form Rax. I believe Mage is the same, but melee is different. You can still skip, but the timing will be different, as he heals differently. Now, the current rotation I'm doing isn't perfect. It has its issues, but it's the best I have for now, and I've gotten many skips with it. After phase 1 ends, I zoom down the path. During this time I split soul, as well as invoke death. When coming back towards Rax, I will either use an ability, 2 ticks later BD within range and use death skulls, or I will just run towards him spamming my skulls. Both work, but I'd recommend learning to blade dive. After my death skulls goes off, I'll use my volley of souls. I'll then equip my Excalibur and store my tier 90 spec. This is done by simply using the spec and clicking the ground. Before my next ability, I'm going to put my Slithskate armor on, to ensure Rex will hit me. It can still splash, so in future I'm probably going to bring an outfit with 0 bonuses, but when it's time to use my next ability, I'm going to do 3 things. Equip my offhand, because my Excalibur is still on, press Smoke Cloud, this will release the stalled tier 90 spec, and use my tier 95 spec. If everything goes to plan, you should see a nice little hit during the phase, and P4 won't spawn. If you're going for a faster kill, with a bit more RNG, then doing the exact same rotation but skipping the skulls will work. You could also make a rotation with range as well, utilising ECB or Death Swiftness Bleed, but it's a little bit more annoying and Invoke Death makes it so simple. So we know how to do it, and you've tried it, and it hasn't worked. Why? Well, assuming you are doing everything correctly, there are 3 things that can go wrong. 1, Rax splashed on you. It's RNG, wireless armor, I don't know. 2, Rex spawned minions. Rex needs to be doing an auto attack on you the same tick you're releasing that tier 90 spec. If he doesn't auto you, he won't heal. Not my problem, phase to P2 differently. And 3, Rex heals before your rotation is complete. This is slightly RNG and you can't influence this much. I don't know too much about the Rex healing, so I'm not going to give any advice for this, just complain in a Discord somewhere. And that's pretty much it. That is the mechanic that no one could figure out, fully explained. I'm going to show a few P4 skips as reference, but I hope you enjoyed this video.